Hello and
Hello.
welcome back to Mystic in the Machine. We are so sorry that we ghosted you for 2 weeks.
It's been a mad
time.
Weird time.
Yeah. Jake's push got stolen. To start off, we've been gigging, we've been writing music, we've been playing gigs, and that's been going really well. Then on the way home, his Ableton push got stolen, which our entire kind of creative output relies on, and
the live show anyway. The live show depends on that. Like all of me dicking around on Ableton, we can still do all of that.
Yeah.
But like
performing live
live performance is
yeah.
So
we were like super bummed out about it, and it was really sad. But then an angel of mercy came to the rescue. Someone in our Discord just like came into a bunch of money and like offered to get us a new one.
And I've never experienced kindness like that ever.
Yeah.
So yes, a massive Thank you to
Sid.
To Mr. Sid.
Yeah.
It's in the chat now.
Yeah, hi Sid.
Yeah.
That's so kind of you. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to continue our journey and stuff. I was chatting to my mate today about all these awesome things that we've got planned for not just this show, but just other things that we're going to be doing, like hopefully down the road and stuff with even more crazy technology and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
This is only the beginning, and I can't wait to show you all where it goes to.
Definitely. Happy awesome equinox as well. Holy shit. This year has gone fast. Jesus. And yes, also I have new hair. Tell me that it looks good so that I don't have a nervous breakdown, because this is the first time that I've worn like my hair in its like natural wild state since you were little, right? Since I was little.
Well, I think you look very cute.
Thank you very much.
And I think
it means a lot.
I think there's lots of cute ways that you could wear your hair in this way that like would be really adorable.
Watch me get bored of it in a week and like get it straightened though. Like
yeah. I know. I don't know. I can't speak for you, but like it was even just horrible for me when you went through the whole thing with a previous hairdresser that like really fucked up your hair.
Yeah. So this is all new, healthy,
and like
luscious growth.
But I was powerless and I couldn't do anything about it. And so now I've like found you this like good place. Yeah. And so I don't want you to go anywhere else. So that, like, you don't like fuck up your hair again and have all that trauma. Because you were so upset and I
was pretty traumatized. You know,
and there was nothing I could do about it. There's no amount of ice cream I could buy you. There was no anything I could do for you. So
no. But it's all back now and it's like really like healthy. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
But like maintaining an afro is like, it's like having a plant on your head. So I doubt this is gonna last very long at all.
There you go. The chat is praising your hair.
What are they saying?
Sid and Georgia, Georgia saying your hair looks fire.
Thank you.
You look nice.
I need it.
Okay.
I really do. I need the encouragement.
There you go.
I need the encouragement. What did Sid say? I'm happy that you guys got lucky. Shout out to Sid. Yeah, Sid is Mr. Moneybags at the moment and has come into a substantial amount of money. So he just like offered to get us a new one. And it was like, holy shit.
Legend. And I'm going to be personally mentoring him all of my audio wizard knowledge in the coming weeks as well.
You shared your Ableton license with him as well.
I did, but you know, I don't know how legal that is. So
sorry.
We cannot talk about that on the podcast.
Edit out. Yeah, Sid says it's his pleasure. We're gonna name it after Sid as well.
It will be. It'll be the Sid. I'll have to like actually like I don't know. I was a bit protective over the original one, and I didn't want to like do any markings on it at all. But this one, now I feel like I'm already on my second one. It's like, all right, let's like get some stickers and let's like fucking like get actually like personalize this a little bit and not make it just look like the stock machine. So I'll find a way to get Sid's name like on the push.
And we have a show this weekend as well, so we'll shout you out at the show.
The debut show of it all coming together.
Yes.
Like 40 minutes of original jungle with synchronized visuals and live vocals.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. And our friend is doing the synchronized visuals for us. So, and we'll try and get video of it and put it out for people to see and stuff. But I'm very excited.
J. George, I think you can share your license, but it is like you've got to trust that person, right? And like, so now I me and Sid are now bonded. Now like,
now we're licensed brothers.
We've been bros for a while, but now we are like bros on another level. So it's all gravy, and it's a pleasure to like be able to at least reciprocate something back as well. Thank you, bro, for the luck with the show as well. Yeah, it's gonna. I had been rehearsing a lot up until this very point and stuff, and there's just a couple of little final bits I've got to do to the set to get it completely there. But we got a rehearsal day the day before with my buddy on visuals as well, so we can plan all of the different aspects. We got the whole day to just.
Where are we going to do that, by the way?
I shouldn't
be asking bad questions.
I think we're doing it at Jack's.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh mate.
It's not that big a deal.
It's so far.
It's not that big a deal.
Whatever.
It's not that big a deal.
What was I saying? Are you sure that my hair looks fire? Because Jake has been really mean to me.
No, I haven't.
Yes, he has. I've been called Sideshow Bob.
I did not call you Sideshow Bob.
I've been called.
I made the grunting noise that Sideshow Bob does when he steps on the rake. That's all I did. I didn't say that you were Sideshow Bob.
I've been called Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I'm getting a Donna Summer vibe. There you go. You actually you fucking articulated exactly what was going on.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Oh my goodness,
head.
You've just made my night. Thank you very much. But yeah, he called me Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, Hillary is what I had in
Hillary from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I was confusing them.
Yeah,
for some reason.
I look like my mom in my head. Like, it's freaking me out how much I look like my mom right now.
I don't mean to sound, creepy or weird when I say this.
oh God, here it comes.
But my mum kind of had hair like that.
Oh my God.
in the 90s, like when I saw her wedding pictures and whatever, like it was obviously not Afro texture.
Well,
but
like
it was
Princess
like
Di kind of
that kind of shape, that kind of big like curly shape, like she had hair like that.
Okay,
as
okay.
Well,
Who said Donna Summer? You're my new favorite person. I love you now. He says, I'm so excited for all of it. Good things on the way. Really happy to hear that for you, Sid. You definitely deserve it. And I can't wait to see more of your naughty green stuff in the Discord.
Oh my God.
I don't mean, it's nothing sexual. Never mind.
I was going to say, whatever's naughty should not be green. That's like
that's a red flag.
That's a big red flag.
It's a big red flag.
That's like a doctor's visit or like even a hospital visit if it's green at that point.
Oh my God. Speaking of sexual deviance, P-Diddy has been all over the news, which is our first topic of the day.
When the news story broke, the 1,000 bottles of sin was exactly what I said out loud, and I was watching the video, and then Angie only heard me like say that as she was watching something else, and was like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, like for those of you who don't understand the context, one of the things that was found when they raided one of his many mansions was 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Mm-hmm. Which I was just like guilty as soon as
1,000 bottles of sin, dude.
Yeah, dude.
There's guilty. No way. There's no way around that.
There's no way you're innocent.
I didn't even think
if you have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I didn't even think like the Pornhub headquarters have like 1,000 bottles of baby oil, just
also,
like ready to go.
Why baby oil? Is that like safe for use on genitals? Like, why not just get lube?
He doesn't give a shit.
Like a normal person.
He doesn't give a shit.
It's so weird. And then I saw people on Twitter being like, oh, black people love oils. So that's probably like a normal amount for black people or whatever. And I was like, wow, Twitter.
Have we got any other black people in the chat? Can we like confirm this?
Excuse me, that's not true at all.
I know that you don't have any baby oil. You've got zero bottles of baby oil in the house.
Baby oil in the house. No.
That's why I'm not mocking it up to, oh, that's a standard thing.
Fine.
And you're quite all about your skincare and like all of this. So
black people in the chat, is this true? Are we like hoarders of baby oil? Is this the case?
J. George, baby oil, brother, you ain't getting to heaven.
Yeah, mate. you will not reach the gates of heaven if you have that much baby oil at all.
I mean, it's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah.
The sorts of, I don't know. I think even them, the fact that they're using the term like freak off in like legal documents and stuff is pretty wild.
Just the fact that he used that terminology shows you the kind of corny motherfucker he is.
Yeah.
He's like a Scorpio, so he's kind of like, yeah, sex. He's like that type of guy who's like really like corny and like.
It does kind of
humor-y.
paint his performance in Get Him to the Greek in like a kind of different light.
Different light for sure. That's definitely
Which is funny because I think like even like if you look at that itself, like the joke is that he is this like crazy drug addled like out of touch like music guy.
Yeah.
That could do weird things at parties and whatever. And that was literally the fucking joke, that he would even drug you and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was literally the joke.
Yeah.
And if I don't know if how much of
he
that
wouldn't
was...
let you leave the party because remember in Get Him to the Greek he was like chasing Jonah Hill and Russell Brand while they were trying to get out of the house.
So
he was like this crazy guy.
Is that like a joke? Because it did work on a level where if you knew nothing, I knew nothing about that at the time watching Get Him to the Greek, right?
Neither did
as
I.
like probably a teenager at the time. I knew nothing about that. So that scene in itself worked as like a comedy scene.
Yeah.
But was it like an inside joke, do you think, at the time?
Yes, because people knew about Diddy for a very, very long time. Now let's get into the lore. Let's get into the lore. Let's get into the deep Diddy lore. You know, he kind of rose through the ranks in the music industry very suspiciously, particularly because of his ties to like high up executives. And because of this, he obviously attracted a lot of suspicion and ire. And the sheer amount of control he had over people's careers while he was like running Bad Boy Records, the way he did artists dirty. Not just that, his relationship with his wife, Kim Porter, who mysteriously died, and also left a memoir that apparently details all sorts of sordid details. The way he treated Cassie, according to the documents, many people saw him assault her.
Well, there was
at
that
parties.
video as well.
There was a video that came out, but not just that, at parties and stuff. People saw him assault her. So people were not in the dark about what Diddy was like and the type of person he was. But that's not just the interesting part for me. The interesting part for me is what it means about Hollywood, the hip hop establishment, and the establishment at large. Because right now he's in a very high security prison in New York City, probably coming down off of drugs in a terrible state. Will he talk? Will he be Epsteined? Because he has so much dirt on so many people. And already the entire kind of hip hop industry is imploding in on itself.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like so much is coming out. And people speculate that it's like crabs in a bucket because obviously in the music industry, the money just isn't what it used to be anymore. So it's created this sort of crabs in a bucket style environment where people are just trying to get what they can, take each other down, cash out or whatever. And now that this Diddy bubble has burst, it's an opportunity for people to kind of, you know, clean up house in that sense. So I'm interested to see what happens, but I have my doubts about them allowing any more scandals to break.
I don't know. I think like there's lots of people that are successful that were successful with nothing to do with Diddy and his circles. And I think that even probably the whole, I mean, isn't he also kind of tied to the whole East Coast, West Coast beef? And he's from the East Coast, right? Like, so he was kind of like Biggie's like side on that whole thing. And isn't it kind of speculated that he was involved in Tupac's like killing and whatever?
Yeah, all of that.
And so, you know, he's a very pinnacle figure in latter 20th century music, especially within kind of like gangster rap and stuff like that, which was a genre that I fucking love and a period of hip hop that I fucking love as well. And which is weird because when all the stuff comes out about like him, I was like, oh yeah, he's like a producer. That's like where his like position is in my head. It's not ever like a label owner or just like this business guy. For some reason, I always had him as like a producer, someone that actually like makes the music or like puts together records and stuff. And then I was like, well, I couldn't like actually name a single like P Diddy track. Like nothing of his like would come to mind. But then but I don't know. It's just kind of the rappers that were around him at the time.
For me, it was more the people who were on Bad Boy, like Faith Evans.
I wonder what Snoop Dogg and like all of those guys.
None of them are. Everybody's silent as a mouse because God knows who's implicated. Like
Well, 50 Cent isn't.
No, 50 Cent is being messy. He put
yeah, because he's not involved.
He's not involved, but he put a picture of Jay-Z on a milk carton and tweeted it because Jay-Z is missing. Nobody knows that he's not talked. Everybody's quiet, and it's because God knows what went down at these freak-offs and the compromising material that's floating around in the ether. Especially when it comes to particular rappers that might be in the closet. Particular preachers that also might be in the closet as well. You know, and also politicians who P. Diddy has also had, ties with, including current political candidates. He has their images with him and Trump. I think Trump attended his famous white parties. I don't know if there's images of him and Kamala Harris together, but there sure were of him and the Obamas and also the Clintons.
I was going to say, it must have been the Clintons or the Bush era when he did the whole vote or die thing, right?
Was it him that did the vote or die thing? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
In the chat, let us know if our lore is...
Dude, let me fucking Google that. That's going to bug the shit out of me. I 100%
I don't think it was him. I'm 100% sure it was a different rapper. You racist. Not all black guys look the same, Jake. Jesus Christ.
I know that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Diddy vote or die.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See?
You're all right. Never mind.
See?
I take it back.
So, and that would have been early 2000s. So I'd imagined, I would assume Democrat, but I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a campaign like that going with Al Gore. Well, or maybe that's kind of half the joke and the point of it.
He had ties to the Democratic Party. He also had ties to law enforcement. He had ties to the criminal underground. It's like an entire trafficking operation. There's all sorts of dirt going on there that he got away with because of he was like almost like hip hop Mossad. And it seemed as if he like compiled a bunch of compromising material on people. And that was what like enabled him to, get away with this behavior for so long, including beating the shit out of his girlfriend in a hotel hallway. There being literal footage of that and like, it getting kicked into the tall grass until it became relevant once again. But I don't know. They definitely got him because you don't get arrested like that unless they've been building a case against you.
And God knows what they actually managed to get from all those raids and stuff they did on his places and whatever, right? Like, I mean, 1,000 bottles of baby oil, right? I mean, that is I don't know. AF. I don't know who that wouldn't be jarring to. I'd be really worried if someone on the jury was like, it's only 1,000 bottles,
just 1,000
guys.
Like
it's not illegal to have baby oil, or like we're trying to like make some sort of case for having 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It's like such a fucking red flag. It's unreal. Dude. See, there we go. Social creatures, cocoa butter maybe for black people. That's what I would have thought.
I need it for this fucking creature plant that's like on my head right now. Someone says, not even Aaron Magruder could make up details like this. I know. I mean, it's crazy. But then again, there seems to be this sort of weird motif of black men in power in Hollywood, being involved in sordid shit. Not to say that white men aren't involved at all, but it seems as if these black entertainers, despite not coming from the elite, it seems as if they want to emulate the behaviors of the...
hear me out.
Executives at the top and model themselves after them, and they also think that they're above the law in the same way and that they're not going to get slave treatment once they're caught.
Well, some of them, again, 50 Cent is there throwing punches because he as someone was the person I've like musically least respected out of all of the rappers of that era. I hated his music. I thought it was so common denominator, bottom of the barrel bullshit, whatever that you would hear in those
rich or die trying,
terrible shots bars and shit like in my little local town. It was just awful music. I couldn't stand it. But you know what? He quit that shit and went and did a mineral fucking water business and got into boxing in Las Vegas or some shit. Legitimate fucking businesses and just made himself a shitload of money.
He's also the same flavor of psycho though. in the sense that he's like that kind of 48 laws of power kind of social climbing,
Bro,
win at any cost. Didn't he like cut his son off financially?
Yeah, because his son was like begging for money instead of getting a job. And you know what? I respect that. That's fucking based. And I would do the same shit.
Oh my God. Not to my baby.
Yeah, I would do the same shit.
No.
That's how you grow and you like become a fucking man, isn't it? It's like not by getting, fucking money.
But yeah, he's that same kind of 48 laws of power, and they sort of idolize, especially Diddy. Diddy sort of idolized the sort of white executives in the industry and wanted the power of these guys. They didn't. Same with Jay-Z. They didn't just want to be rappers. They wanted to be moguls.
Wu-Tang, yeah, I guess you don't really. I mean, Wu-Tang are East Coast though, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some amount of kind of fucking around with people. If he fucked with people within that kind of realm, they're certainly closer to the danger zone, right? Like kind of was it Dog Pact or the like Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg, like all those guys on West Coast and Tupac and shit. You can imagine there's a healthy distance there.
Yeah.
At least they're tied by industry, but there's a healthy distance there to where there's like there's some amount of like they're probably not involved in that same scene.
Yeah.
But Wu-Tang are also East Coast and that same kind of era. So who knows? Like
Sid says 50 Cent contributed 2 more laws, and him and Robert Greene collaborated and re-released the 50 laws of power. Oh dear God.
Based. See? There we go.
Oh God. Oh dear. But that's what I mean. It's this like sort of desire.
50 laws of power because he's 50 Cent. Dude, I just got it. That's genius.
Shish you. Anyway, so yeah, like he's sort of idolizes. Same with P Diddy, same with Jay-Z. All of these guys, they idolize like the sort of successful white executive. And the music is just sort of a means to an end for them to create their empire. They had this sort of vision of being moguls, and the music was just sort of the soundtrack of that journey. But along with that came the shadow, and I think the shadow side of hip hop is now being revealed, and the sheer amount of self-debasement, greed, arrogance, narcissism, all of the things.
Are there any like next generation like youngsters sort of like shouting all the old people to basically get dethroned? Because then there's going to be a lot more space for the new generation.
Well,
are they all kind of so heavily implicated and also just like manipulated through the same tactics?
I think so, because it
like Sexy Red and like all of these other
seems
like.
As if it has been a generational thing. Part of what people are speculating now is about Usher and Justin Bieber, who are both sort of Usher was a prodigy of P Diddy, and he sort of alluded to being exposed to wild things at Diddy's parties underage. And Usher took Bieber under his wing, and obviously people are now speculating about Bieber.
P Diddy took
both
Bieber.
of them did.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now people are obviously speculating about whether or not Justin Bieber was exposed to anything. But either way, it does seem as if in order to get clout, access, this and that, you have to, court certain gatekeepers, and Diddy so happened to be one of them.
And what, you think Justin Bieber wouldn't like come out and sort of talk about maybe some of the bad stuff that P Diddy did with him?
I don't
because
think
he's
so.
got like blackmail on Justin Bieber as well?
Who knows?
Just like
who knows? Or it could just be humiliating and a very something that he wouldn't want to talk about to the public.
I mean,
who knows? Or maybe nothing happened. Who knows? But
if I was someone famous,
everybody's very quiet right now.
Maybe I'd be like BoJack Horseman and just make everything worse. But like, if I was a famous person and I had all these crazy fucking rumors swirling around me that like I was like molested as a young boy by like a famous music executive producer dude, and like that's kind of going to be responsible for my career in lots of ways and all this kind of stuff, and the way that my reputation would be tarnished like that, I would be trying to fucking get out in front of that in any which way possible. Whether that's through the truth.
Also had similar rumors floating around him during the Michael Jackson scandal. Justin Bieber is not the first person in the public eye to have had that sort of speculation sort of surrounding him.
I think the difference was that Macaulay Culkin was a very successful child actor before he met Michael Jackson, whereas Justin Bieber got like a bit of notoriety on YouTube, and then all of a sudden he's at P Diddy's house.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Right, not the same kind of relationship. I wouldn't think. Like, not saying that Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson were meeting each other as equals, but he was the highest paid I think, actor in Hollywood at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe just child actor, but certainly even possibly actor.
Actor, yeah.
In the early 90s.
Well,
So, yeah.
yeah. Well,
They
apparently
kind of were equals in some regard.
Yeah, to some extent. But also, apparently, Kim Porter, his ex-wife, who mysteriously died, is going to release her memoir is going to be released soon.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm interested in, because I was also always interested in her as a figure, and the law that had surrounded her as well. She was like really beautiful, you know, had 2 beautiful daughters, and she just sort of...
Was she like a backup dancer or something, or like a
I don't
pop
remember,
star in her own way?
I don't remember what she was, or if she did anything. But she was known as Diddy's like wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was Diddy's wife. She was Diddy's, you know, arm candy in that sense.
Right.
Same with Cassie as well.
Wasn't she an artist? She was an artist.
Cassie was an artist, yes. But she only had like a couple of hits and sort of became the lady who was always with Diddy.
Right.
And who was always photographed with him looking miserable at events. And people had been rumoring, again, people had seen her assaulted. There was in the court documents, one of the claimants basically said that they were at a dinner and Diddy got up and just like punched Cassie in the stomach, and that there were other celebrities there and they just sort of continued talking while she left the room. So he's he's always been this violent, you know, incredibly awful dude. And people ignored it because, you know, they wanted to do business with him. They wanted proximity to him. They wanted their careers to flourish. And on top of that, when it comes to his sexual deviance, this just seems like someone who has no super ego. He's just like pure id.
Do you know what who I really want to hear from right now in the hip hop space?
Who?
Azealia Banks. Okay, I feel like Azealia.
You feel like Azealia will have like a
the true
on
all
take
of this
on all
situation.
Of this situation.
Because like she like exposed fucking.
She said she fucked Dave Chappelle.
Really?
She said also
That's pretty wild.
She did. She said he fucked you, and then Dave Chappelle didn't like deny it. But he like dissed her like subtly or whatever in like his stand up.
It's pretty
But
based.
he clapped them cheeks. He clapped them cheeks. You know who else is, you know, wait, off topic for 2 seconds. You know who else's cheeks were clapped?
Who?
Diane Abbott and Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh my god, this is so unrelated.
I'm sorry, but
so unrelated.
This has been my Roman Empire for the last week. Like, I just can't
Your
stop.
Roman Empire, as in like you're thinking about Jeremy Corbyn
Yes.
and Diane Abbott 3 times a day.
I am, because I can't stop imagining them having sex. Like, I don't see either of them as sexual beings at all.
Is it because Diana?
So I'm just like trying to imagine it in my head.
Is it because Diana reminds you of your mum in some way?
Not at all. No, gross. Ew. Jesus
and
Christ.
that's why you get like freaked out by it.
No, ew. I'm freaked out by you right now. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Sorry, but yeah, that little factoid. Diane Abbott and Jeremy Corbyn.
Okay, that's gross.
He was clapping them cheeks. Just
but
saying.
The reason why I want to hear from Zealia, because she like kind of wasn't afraid to like call out Russell Crowe, and who was it? Like it was someone from Wu-Tang Clan,
it was
wasn't
RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. They made a terrible movie together.
Well, not only that, like he was in the room whilst like he was basically trying to pimp Azealia Banks
to
Russell Crowe, and then when she realized what was going on and wanted to leave, she got like assaulted by Russell Crowe and like called the N-word.
Allegedly.
This is like the story
her side of the story.
This is her side of the story, right? Yeah. But I don't know, like I think there was also some video footage I remember from of that time. Was there not?
No, there wasn't video footage, I don't think. No.
Of like someone leaving the room or like the hotel or something, or maybe I'm like.
Or she was saying that the video footage should be released.
Yeah.
And that Russell Crowe had paid the hotel to get rid of it. Which shows a kind of tradition among celebrities of doing bad things in hotels and paying off the hotels and the staff to cover it up. And like before, that stuff was just kind of speculative, but now with this Diddy case, we know for a fact that happens.
There we go. So Wu-Tang have been learning the East Coast tricks of P. Diddy. Whoever shouting Wu-Tang in the chat earlier, like nah, bruh. I think that they're also like, I don't know. Isn't trying to arrange like the sex of someone for an agreement of something kind of like sex trafficking in a way
Yeah, it
as well,
is.
like non-consensual, sly as fuck
Yeah.
sex trafficking.
He did it for
Like-
obviously power and political purposes, but he also clearly did it for his own pleasure. And if you look into his personal history and stuff, he's obviously like a very damaged, twisted, sick individual. Like his dad was a gangster. So he was obviously exposed to a lot of, unsavory things. And it's also speculated that his mother was, because his mom is still around and she has this weird relationship with him. They like kiss on the mouth. She like wears white nail polish, which Cassie specified in her accusations that he forces the women in his freak-offs to wear white nail polish because he thinks it looks good when certain things occur during the sexual act or something along those lines. I know, gross. I know. And his mom is constantly wearing this like white nail polish and they like kiss each other on the mouth and it's like super fucking weird. And it's also speculated that she might have been a prostitute while he was young and that he may have been exposed to some bad stuff. Like he seems like a really sick, twisted dude that has come out of like the social decay of America, has risen to the top through Machiavellian scheming, and is just sort of a reflection of the corrupted, messed up values of the society. And like, I'm kind of glad this is happening, that this is kind of causing a reckoning in hip hop, because I think it's been particularly damaging to Black culture. And these figures being elevated as, figureheads or leaders of Black culture is so, and deciders too, gatekeepers, is so fucking wrong. Part of me does hope that Jay-Z is next. I know that that's like blasphemy, but like I really do think that these like Goliaths need to fall and that something new and more edifying needs to rise in its place, because it is rotten to the core. And I'm sure if we really did get to the bottom of this Diddy case, we would see how fucking rotten it is, especially with the videos at those damn freak-offs, which I doubt will ever see the light of day. But I don't know. Never say never. This is 2024. Anything could happen. We're in like this weird like quantum drift at the moment.
Last little speculation about Diddy, and then we'll move on to the next topic because we've spent enough time on this. Was he like on the Lolita Express? Did he ever go to Epstein's Island? Was there like
I don't know if
was he on the list?
I don't know if he's on the list or if there's any connections between him and Epstein, but
because
let us know in the chat if anyone knows.
Because the sorts of things that are the other sorts of things that I have read is that there was a lot of video evidence and sort of getting blackmail on people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which was basically the very same tactic.
Which is what I mean by he tried to model himself after these sort of white elites, because P. Diddy also had an island. Epstein had an island. P. Diddy had his weird Mossad operation. It's speculated that Epstein had his weird Mossad operation. Like there's some kind of weird thing going on in these circles of power in terms of how people garner influence, gain social mobility, get power, all of these different things. And it's a dirty, dirty game. Not just in the realm of, I don't know, whatever Epstein was involved in, but clearly also in the realm of entertainment as well. And people have been saying this for years. This isn't new. It's only now that like information is coming out that corroborates this stuff is being sort of accepted by the media.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's sort of like, it's not like, it's not like P. Diddy had like actual CIA connections or something like that.
Yeah, he apparently he did have connections to the 4-letter agencies.
Really?
Yeah, this shit runs deep.
Well, maybe I don't know. That's what I was saying. If it's maybe like some sort of Illuminati handbook of like how to do, X, Y, Z, and then they all kind of run the same playbook, or if it's like a intelligence thing. And I didn't think that P. Diddy had any intelligence connections, so I assumed it was Illuminati, like elite circle type deal. But
Who
I guess
knows?
maybe not.
It could be multiple things. But regardless, this does mean like big things for the entertainment industry as a whole. People aren't looking at celebrities the same way anymore. The money in the entertainment industry isn't moneying like it used to. I can't look at a lot of these people the same way now.
Jay-Z 100% had Big L killed, by the way. I don't know who Big L is. Not familiar with that one.
No, neither am I.
I love how it transitioned from Big this to Lil. What's up with that?
I don't know. I think it's goofy as fuck.
What's up with that, black people? But anyway, Trump also nearly got fucking shot again. We were going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about U.S. election shit.
Just for a second.
Trump's.
It's not as fun as P. Diddy. I've got to be honest.
Not,
the topic isn't as fun. It's like a lot more depressing, actually.
A little bit more, yeah.
There's no baby oil involved.
No baby oil. Well, yeah, Trump's second assassination attempt occurred last week, which were you shocked?
I mean, it's pretty weird. It's
weird.
It's like on the double bounce.
Yeah.
It's weird that his ear is totally fine. I'm just going to say that. I think that is strange.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding of the human body, your ear is like not even flesh. It's cartilage. And so it would just shatter essentially if a bullet went through it, which is what it looked like, right? And why he was wearing that thing on his ear, and people said he was shot in the ear, right?
Yeah.
So if that was the case, there would be like a chunk of his ear missing, and I don't know.
Maybe he has like some weird stem cell.
Yeah, mega fucking stem cell research shit that's just like filled in his ear within like 2 weeks.
They grew on like a mouse's back or something. Probably.
It was like it would be like that South Park episode with the fucking mouse. Oh my god. But I don't know. I feel like that is strange.
Yeah.
And so then the fact that there's been like another one, like I don't know. There's definitely a rumble in the jungle. There's like something wrong, something somewhere. And like the guy that was caught, there's quite a few interviews of him just ranting insane things about kind of how the whole world should be on the front lines in Ukraine and stuff. And
he's like a radical Democrat.
Not even just a radical Democrat. I feel like I think the messaging and the whatever information, I don't know if it's sort of... A lot of people are very speculative about his background and past anyway, because he's had of the type of crimes or things that are on his criminal record that have been kind of forgiven or like whatever, how it's kind of gotten around. And making links to like obviously Lee Harvey Oswald and stuff like that, where there's kind of parallels with things like that, or even Charlie Manson and stuff like that, right? Where
Retardy Oswald.
where there was like clearly he was like in the wrong
patsy,
for something around like that, and then that gave him access to this person, and then they kind of fill them with radical, either mind changing drugs. But this person
was like possessed by a specific kind of narcissism that's characteristic of the current liberal world. I mean, he there are pictures of him like doing photo ops in Ukraine. Like he went there and did like a photo shoot.
He's recruiting for them. He's actively recruiting for them.
And he offered Bono to do a song with him and Bruno Mars. Like he's just a garden variety delusional narcissistic type possessed by forces from the collective unconscious.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the video of him talking.
Okay.
Do we still have it?
Sorry, I didn't have that one up.
No problem.
I can get it.
We'll get it.
Keep talking.
Yeah, like he's an insane person, but sort of emblematic of like a wider psychosis occurring within the liberal world at the moment. And listening to him speak was incredibly disturbing. But what was more disturbing is the fact that after it happened, there were lots of people who weren't immediately like, this guy is crazy, which showed me that people have lost their ability to discern craziness.
I don't think anybody...
Which is quite frightening.
I don't think anybody had the kind of Unabomber reaction to him, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
No one was like, this guy really has a point.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen
really?
Twitter? There were people who were like straight up saying that this fucking guy with his Sampaku eyes... Show them the Sampaku eyes. Just show them the level of Sampaku going on here and his like blue hair streak.
It's like an American flag in the hair. That's already a pretty wild choice.
This is red flag central. Just giving red flags all over the place. But the thing that frightened me the most is that there were people who were like looking at this dude, listening to what he said, and they were like, oh, he seems totally rational and not crazy. He's just sort of caught up in this election and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's because you guys are crazy. You guys are equally as crazy. You've gotten to the level where you're just as possessed by forces from the collective unconscious as this dude is, and now you can no longer distinguish crazy from sane. And let's watch it.
From the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, any movie we ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And
like, how delusional is this already?
Yeah.
We're 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
And like, this is fucking nuts.
He's like, it's as if CNN created their very own Manchurian candidate. Literally.
He is so brainwashed that it does feel like, how can anybody kind of well, maybe it is the case of someone just kind of watching CNN.
But this is
like,
this is like the average American citizen, whether it's CNN or it's right-wing media or it's the alternative dissident media or whatever. The average American citizen has become an empty vessel
for the echo chamber that they like slot into or whatever.
A host for the egregore.
Yeah.
And this is scary because now you're hearing people who can't even distinguish between somebody who's possessed like this person and somebody who has their faculties together.
It's just,
even if they make a decent appraisal of the problems, or they're able to articulate certain things that you might agree with, that doesn't mean that they're sane or that the conclusions that they're going to come to are wholesome in any form or fashion.
well, he literally, before I paused it, he just said that the West and Ukraine are like selfless and we all love each other and it's all peace. Okay, that's fucking delusional.
Yeah.
Since when? When has America ever been that for its domestic policy for my entire fucking lifetime, or like anything in the West? NATO in general.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole expansion program has started since the end of the fucking Berlin Wall in the mid 90s or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So it has been for my entire life that NATO has been aggressively fucking expanding out eastwards, breaking the fucking Minsk Accords and all of that fucking other shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. It's nuts, and no one's in some kind of delusion that all the countries in the West are selfless. It's like the complete opposite, and especially if you are a kind of like liberal-minded person, isn't the kind of guilt complex actually that the West is this terrible place that has like decimated so much of the developing world for its own benefit and the whatever, right? So how do you weigh that with everything in the West, including Ukraine, which we are also claiming now as the West, are selfless people and want peace? From which politician or from which like general consensus have you ever fucking picked that up on in the last 30 fucking years?
Yeah.
That's delusional.
Yeah.
And not only is it just so delusional, he openly says how fucking delusional it is before that statement by saying, I think he literally said the word fairy tale. This is a fairy tale situation of good versus evil. And if you can kind of break any like modern geopolitical fucking conflict down into, this is a simple good and evil, like I can't.
You're off the deep end.
You look
You're
like
possessed.
you also look like you're fucking twice my age. So I don't know how many brain cells have like fucking evaporated over time,
He's
or
not
what,
there
or what
anymore.
drugs, or what the
He's
fuck is
not
going
there
on
anymore.
But,
Something
like,
else has taken over.
How could you either totally naively or what? I don't know how you come to that conclusion.
Well, that's the thing, is it doesn't even need to be a psyop, is what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to create Manchurian candidates anymore. Manchurian candidates kind of create themselves in the ways that these echo chambers
Through the media
through
landscape.
the media landscape, and the way these echo chambers are designed to play on our
Like, this is a 10-minute video,
points.
and have no need to play any more than the first 40 seconds because it literally it just continues in this way for 10 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. There is nothing you're not gaining by me playing the
and I
rest
don't
of
want
this
to give
clip.
him attention either.
And it's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
And so I know what you mean by like people kind of are their own Manchurian candidates, but like, I'm not sure. There is something really strange with these people, and I don't know if it is just the general kind of breakdown of society and like everything else, but it does feel very strange. And that video is from 2022.
Wow.
So this isn't like, oh, the election is now, and I need to like do this thing. I think basically since the war broke out, he has been like on this.
On this, yeah.
And so it's not just like a current recent thing. This has been like his whole fascination and life since it happened. And I'd be like, I'm glad that he's not just been shot dead, but I don't know how much answers you can kind of get out of someone like this. And my first criticism, I think, actually of why I thought the whole shooting, the first one was fishy before, you know, the ear stuff, and we went over that. Like, is that they shot to kill.
Yep.
Like, to me, that would be so strange. Like, you have such talented, skilled shooting people that their whole job is to fucking shoot people.
To
like,
detain them and to
I
get
would imagine that
information.
you should know a way in which you can
Yep.
shoot that person to disarm them,
Yeah.
and also make it so that you can question them afterwards.
Even this
But then-
one felt very Looney Tunes because it was at the fucking golf course and he
Yeah,
was hiding
absolutely.
in the bushes. What the fuck is going on?
But then after seeing actually the kind of mental state of
Yeah.
someone like this that would
Yeah.
be doing an action like trying to kill the fucking running president or whatever the fuck, like that now shows me actually I don't know how much there really is to gain from
No.
any kind of interview or whatever process. I actually only a real kind of a forensic fucking search through that person's data and whatever else that you would get from an objective point of view of that person's life, an evaluation of that person's life, is going to lead you to suspect whatever kind of motivation. Any interview with this person is not going to grant you whatever information or thing that you're trying to fucking see. From what I can tell, this guy's fucking insane.
But it's funny that you bring that up, though, because, you know, speaking of technocracy and Trump, one of the things that he was proposing, you know, pre all of this was a sort of pre-crime system. And don't forget, he's in bed with the Peter Thiel people. And he also, you know, has all these like fucking Silicon Valley lizard weirdos in his corner who are working on things like Palantir and all these other dystopian surveillance systems and data gathering systems. And, you know, they've tried to assassinate him twice. So who knows if he won't use his presidency as an excuse to roll out more of this, with now examples of these sorts of possessed individuals. And there are so many of them running around America now as well because of Silicon Valley. They've created the fucking problem, or at least exacerbated the problem. Now they're probably going to sell us the solution. That's kind of what I speculate, is that they've created the issue of all these like activated, insane, fucking, you know, rabidly indoctrinated and radicalized individuals, and now they're going to sell us a solution which is like a surveillance state or an ability to kind of create psychological profiles on people, which is precisely what Trump was talking about.
Well, they've already done that in the UK.
Yeah.
They used the riots as
Yeah.
basically an excuse to push through this legislation
Yep.
for further powers for police to use facial recognition technology to be able to track people that were they said it was for participating in riots, and then literally the moment that is like enacted, there are now just vans waiting on like
Yep.
corners of the street scanning everybody's face. And
they're
there's
also
all sorts of
combing
problems.
through social media. They were combing through social media looking for people who created posts that they said could have incited violence, and they put those people in jail. So, you know, this is, and that's not to say that the Democrats are not in favor of pushing the technocracy. Like the Google guy is a big funder of Kamala Harris. So this is something that transcends political affiliation. But don't be fooled that, you know, the Trump side isn't also on the side of accelerating the current technocratic push. And I think these incidents will be used as ammunition to do that.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many fucking crazy people in America now. And I think that that's been done on purpose. I think that the incentive structures on social media, on all of the sort of digital platforms that have absorbed our consciousness, are creating people like this, like this guy. And that creates and people in America are armed to the fucking teeth. Everyone's strapped. Everyone's got fucking guns. Everyone's pissed off. The economic situation is getting worse. All of those different things. So yeah, it's fucking harrowing. Yeah, Jay George just said it is fucking harrowing. And I say this all the time. Like I was just having a conversation with my friend Mary about this, and she has family in America. And she, we were talking about how a lot of shit that shouldn't be normal has just been sort of normalized in America, and how the people there don't know how scary it is and how abnormal it is. It's insane. It's the fat scooters. Well, not just the fat scooters, the heightened nature of the political climate. Sorry, he has to plug the charger in. The heightened nature of the political climate there, and the sorts of psychological breaks that it's triggering in people, and also the potential for political violence. I would be terrified if I was living there right now, and I do pray for all of the people I know and all of the people who listen to us that live there every day, because it's not a good scene right now. What's being said in the chat? Sorry.
It just feels like it's getting hot. You know what I mean? Like the temperature's just getting hot.
Rising, yeah.
Kind of pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of just rising. And
Yeah.
it has felt like that pretty much since 2016.
Yeah.
And I think like in stages, and COVID was kind of like another sort of like 9/11 type thing where the world was totally radically like changed by it, and it affected everybody.
Legislatively, socially, politically, on every level. Economically,
just culturally, like how like in like institutions and all of that kind of stuff, like even there's still so many hangovers from that shit, which is really creepy. I find, like, even when you're in the supermarket, how there's still like all of those glass
barrier
things up.
thingies.
You're like, dude, that shit ended like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it's not just like I'm lazy and I haven't taken it down yet. At this point, it's like
there's still a certain level of social distancing that has remained in public life, even after the sort of major threat has been, curtailed. And I don't know, I'm just, it's too much. It's too much, which is probably why I'm glad we took a 2-week break off, because it just seems like every fucking week something fucking insane is happening.
It is just nuts.
What's being said in the chat?
We are witnessing the end of something. The acceleration is a symptom.
Yeah, big time. I think we're witnessing lots of people trying to eminentize the eschaton, for sure. Lots of different factions have their plans for how to do that. That's definitely the predicament that is arising currently.
They've been trying to do that for ages, though, to quote a good friend of ours.
That is true. But at the same time, there are sort of changes, cultural shifts now, like you said, that are sort of allowing that process to occur more smoothly, whether it be transitions in technology or in the powers that the corporations and government have over average person's life, And
I don't know, it feels as well like there's a real push-pull with where it should land as well.
Yeah.
Like even with the whole back to the office thing.
Yeah.
That's been like a whole push again through like we're going to talk, I guess, about the billionaire classes and whatever else as a topic as well, right?
Yeah.
Like Amazon had said that they want all of their execs and everybody back in the office, basically. Even like, I've heard that as well from other American colleagues and stuff as well. They've all got to kind of like go back into the office and stuff. And after everybody's kind of just proved the point that remote working is just as productive as not going into the office, and having a limited amount of office time or whatever the fuck, that's all kind of been fine for everybody. But now there's like this insane incentive and push, and I don't know if it's like from a big finance point of view, they see all of these like numbers not looking great or not looking as great as they should be looking great, or however the fuck they like justify doing all the horrible
crazy shit that
redundancies and hacking all these jobs away from in all these different industries and stuff. And like, I don't know, it feels like there are even Mark, all of them have had pretty staunch opinions about the whole remote thing as well.
Same with Elon Musk. He famously came out and said, the people who like, build your roads and shit and buildings can't work from home. So why should you be able to? And there's an argument of the class division between work from home and non-work from home. But I think the real issue is that a lot of people feel like they have bullshit jobs, which is just the fucking truth. And most people are just like trying to get a fucking paycheck. And if they don't have to be in an office
I think
to do that, and they can have more time to be around the people they love, and they don't have to be around fucking brown-nosing corporate psychos 24/7. Why the fuck not?
I think it kind of it comes to this thing of like how much actual work does someone do within whatever role, like a week and whatever. And that can vary for some people down to the point where...
but most people are doing bullshit busy work.
I'm reading Reddit posts where people are like, oh yeah, like I had a job where I could basically work and answer emails for about an hour a day.
Yeah.
And I would do that at around lunchtime, and then I would like chill and do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
you don't need to be your way. It's like even though there's class disparity, sure, you can't deny that there is a sort of waste of life and energy. And that's diabolical in my opinion. It's evil in my opinion to rob people of their life, which you cannot get back. You can't get time back, which is why it pisses me off more than anything when in the corporate sector and work or whatever, they try to steal your time, which is why I prefer to work freelance. I hate it when people try to steal your time because that's something you cannot get back. You can always make money. You can't get time back. So in that sense, I don't mind work from home if it kind of puts more distance between you and the thing that you need to do to survive to make money. And those barriers have been steadily eroding with the whole "we're your family" corporate culture, especially in the tech world as well.
Well, I think it's also just like there's an amount of cultural status that is accrued from having this
office.
Massive block is the X building, is the whatever building, right? And having like even just people walking around every day and go, oh wow, shit, that's the fucking Fox building, or that's the whatever, right? Like that even has like a status within people's minds, basically. And that if these massive buildings are just like fucking empty most of the time, like how much can you really justify that to investors before, like, you know, you just have to get rid of it, and like it becomes nothing, and like another thing which is sort of just in the ether of the internet, I guess. Yeah, and it's like extracted to the cloud.
For sure.
And it only really matters in the regard of like what that gives you in terms of benefits and like things, wage and whatever, right?
But even then, back to the billionaires and Elon Musk. He's sort of, there was massive layoffs at Tesla. Huge layoffs at Tesla last week. There seems to be a whole kind of thing with the three tech billionaires right now, sort of all vying for prominence, and it seems like Mark Zuckerberg is kind of leading the race currently, while Elon and what's his face, Bezos, are sort of falling behind.
A fourth fighter has entered the ring though.
Ooh.
Jensen.
Who's Jensen?
Jensen Huang.
Who's Jensen Huang?
The NVIDIA CEO.
Oh, okay.
Because they've like obviously like ballooned crazily since the whole AI boom. And stocks is like one of the most valuable stocks in the world, and one of the most valuable companies in the world. And like to the point where there are people that are locked into like the vested stock bonus thing at NVIDIA that will now be multi-millionaires when they can cash out their stock.
Holy
because it
shit.
would have been awarded to them before this massive boom, and the kind of stock that they would have been awarded gives them that kind of payout, but they are like locked into still working for them until they can cash those vested stocks, basically. It's kind of a way of essentially retaining people at your company. As another thing of like, if I leave or if I accept this other job, then I lose this benefit. And to now, those people, that's got to be the single biggest benefit you'd ever give away or walk away from. So he's probably retained like most of all, if not all of the talent that he had that's built all of that incredible business that they've done for the chips and stuff. So it's pretty insane to watch him. But it's been kind of reported that they have a really toxic kind of a similar kind of mindset and work culture as like Zuckerberg and all the rest, right? Where it's like, this is a job where you're expected to be online 7 days a week and like give your all to it
and live
like,
in the building or whatever.
I don't know if there's as much of like the in office whatever the fuck. I think like there's, I don't know,
early Facebook office culture.
I haven't read so much about that in terms of like you need to be in the office, but it is certainly you should be online like doing stuff for fucking like way over what a normal full-time job would be, and you should be giving it like 200%, and if you're not, then like, you know,
fuck off.
That sucks to be you kind
you
of
don't
thing.
deserve, you need to prove your worth. I think it was Elon Musk who said that, like, you need to, when he was firing people, that you need to prove your worth to this company, and like that kind of crunch to prove yourself in an already underpaid and like depleted workforce that can't even afford to live in the cities that they're working in, and all sorts of issues. And he's also had all sorts of legal issues as well. He's tried to cut all sorts of corners. Just a general fucking shit show over at Tesla. And he's also just been kind of having a meltdown recently as well, because obviously X and the amount of investment and pressure, especially surrounding this election. I remember when Trump was at this crypto conference or whatever, and he gave a speech. One of the things he said there, because there were all these tech people there, jubilant, triumphant, and he said that if I don't win, all of you will be out of a job. And the room kind of went cold, because he was making a joke. He was obviously being facetious, but the room kind of went cold when he said that. And it kind of made me wonder how much of this apparatus, whether it be, you know, X, the sort of right-wing media apparatus, certain, operations in Silicon Valley, like, really do rely on Trump's presidency happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, Sam Bankman-Fried was the biggest donor to fucking both, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't really like. I don't know.
And
no one is going to know either, because there's all sorts of
No.
mechanisms which people only discovered through cases like that. That revealed that you can secretly do fucking donations and all sorts of shit like that, and so people would never actually really know like what your fucking interests are. You can he literally did it publicly to the Democrats so that he morally looked really, really good, and then did it secretly to the Republicans to ensure his business interests and anything else that would happen if they won. So practically, I think that's pretty much how most of Silicon Valley probably operates.
Yeah.
And so the kind of narrative of, oh, we need Trump to win, otherwise this and that, I think that's like a really convenient narrative spun by people like Peter Thiel, etc., that are a big part of that fucking network. To gain more power and whatever else, right? True. And
same on the Democrat side. Like I said, the Google dude is a big donor to Kamala Harris's campaign currently. So the technocracy is something that totally transcends politics.
And yeah, I don't know. It's all of the culture that they're trying to kind of, the only one pushing like a moderately kind of better vision of technology in the future is kind of Mark Zuckerberg, which I hate to say, because he's the most reptilian dude.
He's trying to be less like that now. He's got a tan.
He's chilled out. He's taken the fucking stick out of his ass a little bit, and
he made like a Roman statue of his wife. Like, he's trying really hard to like be a bro.
It's since he bought that island in Hawaii.
Yeah.
He bought an island in Hawaii and like fucking got a farm, started ranching, started grilling meats, started fucking.
It's part of their whole PR
seriously,
war.
started doing jiu-jitsu, you know.
It's part of their whole PR war. And I mean, Mark is being strategic. I don't buy it, but like, he's being more strategic than Musk. Musk is famous, sure, but he'll never be like liked or like a celebrity in the way that he wants to be.
He was on Saturday Night Live, dude.
Huh?
He was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, but no, they didn't. People hated it, and people were criticizing both him and Grimes after that absolute travesty. I don't think he will ever be liked or loved in the way that he wants to be at all. Azealia Banks tweeted like a picture, because there's this trend going on right now of people making celebrities black using AI, and they did black Elon Musk. And she was like, people would like Elon so much better if he was black. And also that he would probably be loved in the way he wants to.
The South African in him is just like reeling.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, he wants so badly to be liked and to be accepted and to be seen as cool. His astrology sign is, he's also a Cancer as well, astrology sign. And Cancer men are always like so BPD and like,
but
you know,
not only with the vibe from Zucky, but also just like the fact that he's doing all this actual open source.
I was gonna ask, what do you
stuff.
mean by? No, he's not doing it altruistically.
Doesn't matter.
He's doing it because he's trying to undercut the competition.
Doesn't matter. Even if he's philosophically like hopped on it for his own fucking benefit, he's still fighting the good corner of like trying to push
Open
more
source.
transparency in like a new age of technology.
Yeah.
And he's in a
But
position.
don't be under the illusion that he's doing it altruistically or
no,
that he's got a
not at all.
tan and like
He's
is trying
vibed
to
out
be a
now.
bro and vibing out because he like.
I think he is
like
a bit more
cool
vibed
guy.
out. You know what? I would smoke a joint with this.
Oh
Mark
my god,
Zuckerberg.
you've swallowed the Kool-Aid.
I would smoke a joint with this Mark Zuckerberg.
I would not
I would
at
not smoke
all.
a joint with his reptilian like no officer, I didn't do this. Like when he's in the fucking
No,
Congress
dude,
or whatever.
I would like I
I'd
don't
smoke
know.
a joint with this one. In Hawaii, would you?
No.
I would like vibed out with Zucky. I would fucking smoke
That's
a joint.
terrible. No, I don't think. I don't know.
And talk open source tech. That'd be
I
fucking
don't think he
jokes,
would be a
dude.
great conversationalist.
Eat some billionaire
the
smoked
thing.
meats and talk open source tech and get high with Zucky
Nah,
in
dude,
Hawaii.
Nah.
I would fucking do that in a heartbeat,
His
dude.
cool guy thing is persona is a front, and he would have to
'cause
do a
then you
lot
can-
of proving to me that it's
He's
not.
got one of those things where I feel like, yeah, like he's such a. It's also like he's such a kind of unique public figure in a way as well, right? That like you don't really know what you see on camera and all that shit. Like how much of that is like curated, unfortunate, all sorts of fucking things, right?
Yeah,
And so if you were on the beach in Hawaii, fucking smoking a joint, you could get actually the vibe of him.
I don't know. Someone in our Discord said that he looks like a gay OnlyFans guy now. And I kind of
my
agree. I kind of agree. He kind of does look like a gay.
I don't
Look
know
at,
what.
like,
I
pull
don't
a
know.
picture.
I don't know what that would look
Pull a
like.
picture up. Pull a picture up.
What of a
'Cause you're
gay
not on
OnlyFans
because you're not
guy?
on Twitter, so you've not been corrupted.
I can't think of one single billionaire I would hang out with. I'm not saying I would want to hang out with him. I'm saying like this Zucky versus old Zucky is like night and day, and this is a
I
Zucky
would
that
not
I
want
like.
to hang out with him. He doesn't seem like he would be a fun time at all.
I don't know.
Unless he was like paying,
Paying for what?
everything.
Oh my god. Okay, what am I searching here? Gay OnlyFans model.
No, Mark Zuckerberg, like recent pictures. not gay OnlyFans. There we go. Oh my god,
See,
no,
reptilian
those are the
Zucky.
reptilian ones. No.
Reptilian Zucky.
Not this
Definitely,
one.
definitely not.
That bowl
smoking a
cut
dude
was
with.
not working for
Okay.
him. It was like, type in there. He looks like a
What?
surfer. Wait, up.
Bang. Vibed Zucky.
There, yeah.
Vibed Zucky.
Gay OnlyFans Zucky.
Do you think that's gay OnlyFans Zucky?
The bearded one.
The
Yes.
bearded one?
Yes.
I don't know enough gay OnlyFans models to call him that.
I don't know. I see on Twitter, Jesus. Yeah, look there. He's wearing the chain. He's like relaxed. Like this is his strategy in the PR war, is to not look so rabid and insane.
Well,
like,
yeah, because the other ones do look insane.
Yeah.
I saw a
he looks
compilation
really
of
chill in
the
comparison.
one we haven't spoken about. I saw a compilation the other day of just fucking Jeff Bezos, just responding to questions and laughing literally like an evil overlord.
Oh my gosh.
Like he's insane. Let me try and find this fucking
his
video.
wife as well. His
'Cause
his new wife. Like I think he married the side piece or something. I don't know. She's like very plastic looking though.
Yeah, he's got this whole like totally plastic look about him, which is really crazy. Yeah, like Jeff Bezos laughed, dude. Let's see. There's a compilation.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness.
You want to be a chef. Maybe you want to be a dancer. I don't know what you want to do.
I'm not sure my boss is going to like that. Last two.
But you do need to follow your passions.
Right.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
40 minutes with you. It's already clicking down. We're going to use every one, so no droning on.
I see what you did.
No, that's coming up too, but that was actually not supposed to be a bad pun. And then disclosure.
The combination of like the kind of half wonky eye and like the forced velocity of the laugh is actually unhinged and fucking frightening. And I don't know how he's ever had like a positive reaction to a laugh like that. And who started the terrible idea of reacting positively to him laughing like that to make him think that that's a good reaction to
It's
have.
just a horror show,
He's insane. And then when you look at fucking videos of him talking about space and shit and all of the fucking stuff he's doing with Blue Origin and all this other crazy like billionaire shit he's doing, the man's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking fully nuts.
They all are.
And like
They all are.
it's crazy. I don't know. I get icky vibes from all of them, and
Yeah.
it sucks that they've all got so much fucking
Power and
within
influence, but they keep fucking up.
society,
Didn't like a Tesla rocket just like fucking fall out of the sky?
No, so like I think
Or
well
some
maybe
shit.
like I can't. I think no, not that. It was the other way around where there was some mishap with getting.
Boeing.
Yeah, there was some mishap with getting astronauts back from a space station.
Boeing's
And
been catching L's lately, left and
Boeing
right.
fucked it up, and they sent this thing up to go and get them, and it came back without them because the astronauts didn't feel comfortable getting on it for X reason. I can't remember. It was in the article, and then a Tesla rocket was sent up to go and get them, and they got on the Tesla rocket.
Oh, okay, all right. So that wasn't a Tesla L.
Or a Tesla rocket is planned and is the thing that's going to be
gonna
sent. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I don't think it's happened yet.
All right.
but
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Boeing has also been catching L's left and right. Recently, obviously there was the scandal about them cutting corners with plane safety.
And I don't know. I think they've probably like killed a bunch of people as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not just doing bad things with like plane safety, but it's
Yeah.
also like literally murdering God knows how many people in the cover up of said avoiding bad safety standards and such.
Yeah.
And like to have such a monopoly on that industry to the point where you just get bailed out all the time as well is like crazy.
Insane. Absolutely fucking insane. But even then, I don't know how this stupid billionaire slap fight will end. I do think that if Trump doesn't win, you know, that there are certain elements of the tech world that will probably lose certain level of prestige, or perhaps they may feel demoralized or whatever.
I do like the idea of all like because there was that stupid meme that was going around that like Musk had challenged Zucky to a fight in the Coliseum. But apparently Dana White that like does the UFC or whatever was actually in talks to make that happen.
Fuck yeah.
But I think that they should open it up to a battle royale with the four of them, with Jensen, Bezos, fucking Zucky, and Musk, and then it should be like old school Coliseum, and they should like have lions and a bear pit and stuff like that, and actually fight to the death. And then like they get to be the king of Earth, whoever wins.
Yeah. I would honestly rather it be solved that way than them trying to like out-rizz each other in the media.
It's way more entertaining.
Despite them being the most rizzless human beings alive.
Like democracy's fake anyway, right? And we all know that it's just like basically dude with biggest number has most influence on whatever thing that he like has or like autistic interest in basically. And so that's why it's space for like two of them and it's like computers for the other two. Right? So maybe we just have like a fight to the death and then they get to be crowned the king and we can just like put it all to bed.
Why not? I'm exhausted and I can't believe that. I mean,
I'm pretty sure Aristotle also predicted that that's how it would turn out as well, didn't he? Like something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, it's September now. We're getting close to November, but it can't come soon enough. And to be all honest, I would rather they like fought robots or got into the Colosseum or did anything but the fucking shit show that we're being put through psychologically right now. And it's not just in America. This has been a year of elections. I think people forget that.
It's terrible. It's just like a year of bad news. Tenacious D broke up. Fucking all this crazy stuff happened.
Stay prayed up is all I can say.
And then like all the girlfriends got mad when Dave Grohl revealed to be not the nicest man in rock and roll, which was his previous nickname.
Yeah. I was a little bit crazy because I was coming off my period. And then I saw the news, and then Jake kind of looks like Dave Grohl. So I was like, do you have a secret baby? Like, what the fuck? And I was like really pissed off at you that day for no reason.
And I saw a meme that was literally just like everybody's girlfriend that day was doing that. So
well, yeah, I mean,
you got caught.
Yeah, I did get caught in a whammon cycle of meme madness.
You had a whammon moment.
I did have a whammon moment, but can you blame me? He, had been projecting this image as like this wholesome family man or whatever.
Successfully as well.
Successfully for like 20 years. And
no one would have suspected that unless like it all just came out in the way that it did. Like,
and then the way it came out, he was like, it was kind of gross as well. Like, and then the person it was with, there's a whole bunch of lore, which I'm not going to go into now, about the lady he was with, who was some BPD ho, fucking weird internet influencer in California who has this entire sordid history, and like hangs around with aging rock stars who want access to like kind of sexy alt model girls or whatever. And she was kind of like this weird mad. It's like a whole thing.
Wow.
I'm sure you can find the rabbit hole.
Oh, there's definitely got to be
But
a
it's
good
like
YouTube
another.
video on that.
There is. It's another kind of like male who can't control his id, like P Diddy situation. Not in terms of like rape or anything, but in terms of like, you know,
Access to puss.
yeah, and like a sordid chain of like grossness or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I would rather not know these things.
I think Dave is David is a great drummer, but I could care less for the Foo Fighters or his image as a good guy. I wholly agree.
I don't care about his image as a good guy. What I care about is the fact that he really pushed that. He really did the whole like, I'm a family man.
Yeah.
And it's like he wanted the clout of being like the good liberal dad while also like, you know, being a naughty boy.
Well, I think like
on the side, which I think is like gross.
I'll expand on your comment, J. George. Dave is a great drummer. I could also care less for Foo Fighters.
They suck.
They're kind of the most tolerable. They're the most tolerable pop rock band of the pop rock bands, in my opinion. But that's because I'm a guitar.
On the level of U2 for me.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. U2 is far worse.
Stadium rock,
U2 is far worse.
All of that really commercial stadium rock and roll shit is lame.
But I think like I also appreciated him as a comedy actor and all of that kind of stuff in the little bits and bobs that he did, like Tenacious D movies and stuff like that. And I think that kind of also helped play into his image as like a good guy, if you know what I mean, as like a funny guy that you would like, you know, want to hang out with. But also
he was like, he was always talking about politics, and I think he spoke out about Me Too as well, which is
Did
like.
he? I don't follow any of that shit.
Because you're not a woman.
I just listen to the music and go, that was not as good as the last one, or that was great. Well done. More of that.
For me, though, I haven't liked anything he's done since Nirvana. I just thought he was hot. And I thought he was aging well. That's all.
For audio production otakus like myself, I really did appreciate the series he did called Sonic Highways, where he went to all of those absolutely wonderful music studios and talked about the process of recording all of the album Sonic Highways in all of those studios. I thought that was a fantastic project and thing, and that more bands should do stuff like that. But yeah, I've realized I'm actually talking Dave Grohl up a lot in this segment where we're talking about him being a bad guy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is it because you look like a knockoff version of him? Is that what it is?
I want to be mad at the guy, but it's just like, God damn it, you've you know, you're such a fucking solid dude in so many ways. I'm just gonna give you a pass on this one.
Dude, you don't get a pass. You don't get a pass.
He's gonna give you a pass on this one.
Rock and roll is having a nightmare at the moment.
It's kind of rock and roll though, isn't it? It's kind of rock and roll.
I mean,
to have like a, you know, when did they all need to be like, you know?
Has to be I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if that's who you are, why project this duplicitous image and have like a prop family?
Because that's what the culture wants, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
but
what the culture wants.
That's nasty.
That's what the culture wants. But you're still a rock star at heart, so you like fuck young bitches.
And then also, why not get a vasectomy if you're gonna like fucking jizz in your side chick?
That's a good point.
You know, who's busted nuts in their side chick? It just seems like really like id controlled behavior or whatever. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, in other words, rock and roll is having a crisis in other ways, because they've decided they want to bring fucking what are they called? Linkin Park back.
Oh yeah.
And they've now put a woman as the front lady. Mm-hmm. This lady has ties to Scientology.
Well, so does the guitarist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the mixed race guy.
They all seem to have weird problems. Like Linkin Park really weird me, because obviously Chester had all these emotional problems, and he was like abused as a kid, and all his music was really sad, and it was all like, you know, and then he struggled with drug abuse and alcoholism.
It just wasn't fun.
And then the rest of them are in Scientology, and it's this whole weird thing.
The music isn't fun. I never got into it because it's not fun. No. It just took itself, like him and like a bunch of those kinds of bands around that kind of similar time of like the late 90s, early 2000s that were kind of woven in around new metal and Korn and bands like that, but were not as heavy and not really the same vibe, but they sort of managed to get in the same festivals and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know, it never fucking appealed to me. It always seemed like they were taking themselves way too fucking seriously, and yeah, not incredible riffs, not my kind of vibe at all. And yeah, I'm not surprised that they've managed to get like some sort of Scientology lady to come and be the singer and reinvent Linkin Park as like potentially some kind of Scientology propaganda band basically,
or whatever. Oh my god!
and bring them, or even just the name of Scientology back into some kind of relevance outside of like
Tom Cruise,
that terrible, or not terrible, that very good HBO documentary that exposed them for all of the sort of terrible shit that they do.
Yeah,
and
it seems like rock and roll is like crawling out of its grave in this really like weird way. Like even the Oasis tour, which was announced a couple of weeks ago in the UK. And yeah, Oasis is another fucking band that is really mediocre and that sucks. And it's like they were like
it's a generation thing. I think like if it was like Gen X, if it was like a bunch of like if it was people that I knew that were Gen X, I think that they would have been, Oasis were massive. Like I might not like them, but they were massive. It's sort of just like I don't know, dude. Were they? It seems.
But that's the
so...
thing. It was a Blair era psyop. Both them and Blair.
Do you think so?
It was a Blair era psyop. It was to project that whole cool Britannia thing, because during the Blair era, one of Blair's aims was to show that like the Labour Party was investing in youth culture and giving people opportunity for the arts. Remember, he famously went and played the guitar at the school and the whole cool Britannia thing. And the British,
Tony Blair did?
Yeah, Tony Blair did. And the British government like basically manufactured a bunch of bands during that period.
He had a musical segment.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets points. He might be a war criminal, but you
he
know
had
what?
A musical segment.
He had a musical segment. He gets points.
From the Spice Girls to Blur to Oasis to all of the bands during the sort of Britpop era and like, you know, that sort of, you know, second British invasion. That was all an orchestrated op. And I think part of the reason Oasis is being invoked once again is because they're trying to fucking distract us from something, or there's some kind of op going on, to be honest, or they're trying to reinvigorate cool Britannia again.
I don't even think.
What the fuck?
I don't even think so. I think
long dead.
I think that it's just something that they could do and were going to do, and it was inevitable, and now they've done it. And like,
or maybe it's child support, because the thing about Dave Chappelle is if his wife, not Dave Chappelle.
Fucking what?
Dave, what's his name? Fucking
Dave.
Not Dave. Dave Grohl, yes.
Dave Grohl, right.
The thing about Dave Grohl is that if his wife divorces him and takes half, I mean, he's a very wealthy guy, but in terms of being able to maintain his net worth and lifestyle, he'll have to keep working, so maybe Foo Fighters will have to go on tour again.
Okay.
We know that Liam Gallagher and them have baby mamas, so it could be because of that they're going on tour again.
I would highly doubt it.
But it seems like a lot of aging rock stars with, you know, skeletons in their closet and child support to pay.
The thing about the Oasis thing, as much as like, yeah, like sure, they're touring and people are either excited or really not excited about that, and there's enough people excited about that they're going to sell enough tickets to make it worth their fucking while.
But it's being pushed in this crazy way, which is the thing that I find suspicious.
It's just like something that the music journalists can write about, and that most of the music journalists that are still actually existing are probably of that generation in which that would be interesting to them, right?
I guess, but they're trying to push it as this big cultural moment when it just isn't, and that's why I'm like,
I think what's been good about the whole situation with them announcing that tour and all of the fucking tickets going crazy and everything was that it put the whole focus on Ticketmaster again and the kind of fucking rigged bullshit that, because it happened I think last year when Taylor Swift went on the Eras tour or whatever everywhere, and she like made a very conscious effort to make sure that there were tickets available at certain prices so that everybody had access to go and see wherever she was playing at, right? And so she consciously did that like a year ago, very publicly. Everybody that was within music would have seen that story and heard about it, right? And then a year later, maybe even 18 months later, we have this massive scandal of, Oasis are not responsible for anything to do with ticket prices, and we had no idea that they would do this and that. Is like, you're the biggest band, like it's one of them like in the world still currently, and you're telling me nobody would have advised you that this might have happened and that this was bad and that this had happened already previously with someone very else like fucking huge only a year ago, and that this is the thing that you should maybe get in front of. Instead, it was sort of like this really blasé fucking statement and whatever. And it just fucking goes to show me like that no one of that fucking stature like gives a shit. They just want to get fucking paid, dude.
Yeah.
And maybe Taylor Swift is not like that. She has been paid so much now that she's like, no, I will make the effort to get $25 tickets. And which, you know what, Taylor? I'll give you points. I might hate all of your music, but that is something points worthy.
Yeah.
And even it brought up that there was a band that probably a lot of people know, Pearl Jam, actually like went to court with Ticketmaster in the 90s when they were a grunge band, like fucking trying to organize their tour and stuff. They wanted to have tickets available at a certain price. Story that is literally 30 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster refused because they had to add on all these extra fees and whatever. And Pearl Jam decided to fucking self-fund the tour and like cancel the whole thing and do one in small venues all around the country to fucking make up for the fact that they had to cancel the official one or whatever one. I think that's how it turned out.
Yeah.
And so like there's ways that you can do it, but it takes an awful lot of like giving way more of a fuck about what you're doing than just getting paid for playing live shows. And if like you don't really care about any of the other stuff and you're kind of really just like in it to make your own money and stuff and whatever, then that's the kind of attitude that you'd have towards it. But most people with any kind of like cultural capital, especially someone like Oasis, are going to have the ability to go, hold on, no, we're going to do something different here, and we're going to like do this and that. And the fact that they wouldn't kind of
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks.
And it just perpetuates the same kind of monopolistic bullshit system that everybody's kind of like subjected to for that kind of stuff, especially with like more and more small venues closing down. The only way that you're going to be able to get tickets is through like, so I don't know, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really go into stuff that is on Ticketmaster. All the shit I do is on Resident Advisor because I'm a little fucking ravey fucking shithead.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's just how it is.
Well, speaking of music and shows, thank you very much once again to Sid, our Patreon, for bailing us out of our Lost Push situation. We're really excited to play our show this weekend. And
I'm hopefully going to get loads of awesome footage of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stitch together like a video of us doing it, which should also be really cool. And I'll share that as well in the Discord when it's done.
Other announcements as well. I have a new video on Depth Diaries. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out. It's really cool. And it's the one that has the most amount of views lately compared to all of the other ones. So I'm like very happy about that. So go check it out. And go subscribe there if you haven't already. Also, tomorrow I'm going to be on Aeon Byte Gnostic Radio. I've been listening to that show for years. And I really like it. It's really fun. And Miguel is like a really sweet guy. And he has a really great podcast where he discusses Gnosticism. The last episode I listened to, he had Lisa from This Jungian Life on, which was really cool. So I'm really excited to be going on his show. And that's going to be tomorrow. I'll share the link once I have one. But just go to his channel. It's called Aeon Byte Gnostic Radio, and you'll see me there tomorrow. And then third announcement is my course that I'm teaching with the museum in New York called Morbid Anatomy is finally up and live. And it's a course on psychic self-defense for the digital age. And I'm really, really excited to be announcing it. It's in January, so there's still plenty of time to book it if you are interested. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description for more information. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Anything else?
We were going to add potential, basically, music production mentorship one-on-one sessions with myself on the top tier, like the same with the tarot tier, basically, for the Patreon. So if you're interested in anything like that and you want some time, you want some feedback, you want some guidance with what you're trying to do, like with your music, with your mixing, with mastering, whatever, hit me up on the Discord, and we can get on that tier, and we can figure out like a time once a month to do like an hour's walkthrough of whatever you need help with.
Amazing.
Peace.
Well, thank you guys for listening to tonight's episode, and we will catch you again next week. Also, the hair. Should we keep it? Should we not? How are we feeling about it? Let us know in the comments. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.